Oh, give me a out. Definitely. Are we? I don't know.
We should.
We should invest in my retirement.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that,
Yes.
they settled on the new 401k company, and they were having their conversations about it last week. I attended one of them. Oh my god, I was so bored, man.
Was the material boring, or was the fact of changing to a 401k that is archaic in a way?
I'm not quite sure what the presenter was going for in their prep for the material, but the impression that I had is that the person speaking was trying to speak to people who had never had a 401k before.
Okay. So it was like a dumb it down, book for dummies kind of thing?
Yeah. Okay. Considering a lot of people who had been with the company for a while had these 401ks with this other vendor.
Okay.
Now, previously, when they shifted from vendor A to vendor B, they automatically rolled everything over from A to B.
Okay.
This time, they're not doing that. You have to go on your own to roll it over from vendor B to this new vendor C. And
then are they going to not match until you do it? I'm going to guess.
That's the other thing. When they went from A to B, at some point with B, they stopped the employee match.
Okay.
And then they went from B, and now they're going from B to C, and now they're doing a match, but it's also a vested match, which is they'll match 50% of 6%.
Yeah, that's how a lot of companies are.
That's fair. Yeah. But then there's the vested match. Like, they'll hold, like, if you've been with the company for 1 to 2 years, whatever you're getting for the employee match, they're not doing anything with. 3 years to another point, they'll do like 40%, and then another chunk after you're there for 6 years, then 100% of their match they'll invest in your account. To me, I found that horribly confusing.
Yeah, it sounds like they're just playing tongue twisters to get people confused and just make a mistake somewhere.
Well, I was, and this is for me, and this was, and then now they have the option for one-on-one conversations. I might take them up on that.
Yeah.
And if I take them up on that, I'm thinking one of the things I'm going to ask is like, okay, how much control do I have on this account? Because the previous two, I had no control whatsoever.
And when you say control, are you talking about how much of a percentage you can adjust your investment?
Choosing what to invest in.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the things I noticed is when I rolled over my previous one to an IRA and had them managing it, from that point forward, it's been consistent growth every month.
Okay.
When it was under whatever they were saying they would manage for you, it was anemic, and that's anemic on the best day.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. So
I know I just kind of leave my retirement to do its thing, and it grows, and well, I'm in a bigger company, so they don't want to mismanage people's stuff. So
I'm debating. I mean, they defaulted me to 3% of my paycheck for this. I
okay.
might let it go. I just set up allotments to go to what I'm currently using to manage that.
Okay.
And I'm sending 3% to two different accounts. One that is more of a stock market. One is the retirement fund, and I have been doing that. So adding this in, that means I'm at 9% of my paycheck, 3% pre-tax, the other 6% after tax, going toward investing.
Okay.
Which they say you should be doing roughly 10% of your paycheck. You should put toward investing at a minimum, because it's like
I do. I do.
I'd like to be in a position I can invest more, but I'll take what I can get.
Oh yeah, I would. It would be great if I could, raise that percentage up higher. Actually, kind of lowered it to try to help with some things, but it's still in the double digits.
And you've always been in a much better place than I am.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair. You were back in the OG days where it's like, hey, you did a good job. Here's a whole crap load of stock in the company.
Yes, yep. We did have that before the company went public, and then when I left, I was just like, sell it all and put that money away. So.
Hey, it did. I mean, it's one of those things. You have the opportunities, take the opportunity.
Oh yeah, I took that opportunity because I was like, well, I'm leaving, so give me my money.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those like, yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do, but I don't know. I mean, the other question I asked was, since I had a break of a year, but when I came back, because I had been gone less than 5 years, I immediately had access to 401k. My question to them was, okay, I had this break. Does that mean my time resets, or are you allowing that time to just accumulate? Because if that's the case, then I would immediately go into 100% vested. That might rechange my thought process to take advantage of the match. But
yeah, it all depends on that gap. So
yeah, but anyways, let's stop talking about day job, financial stuff.
Let's talk about you people. Hi.
Good evening, everybody.
What's up, peoples out there? Driving too?
Yeah, it is episode 103 of Scuba and The Ry,
103.
your Tuesday night conversation event.
Conversation event about everything that is everything that we feel like talking about.
Anything and everything. That's what we do. So yeah, real quick, shout out to Sirenscape for the background musics and soundboards you're hearing. This is a custom set I put together for the podcast. That'll pick up whenever we have a lull in the conversation. Yeah. So check them out at Sirenscape.com. Check out their online player. They have a whole plethora of sound sets you can choose from. So go check them out. Thank you out here to you guys in the chat for coming to join us live when we do this. And
namaste.
If you're watching us after we've been live, thank you for watching. Please feel free to leave a comment below. And if you're enjoying this, be sure to hit that like button, because that's always important.
Yeah, like somewhere over here, somewhere here, somewhere everywhere. Or subscribe.
There.
Right there.
And there. So make sure you're doing all that fun stuff. Yeah, that's kind of what we got. We don't have a whole lot for tonight. I mean, we're just gonna kind of see how this kind of goes in a free form.
We have topics, we have discussions, but no movie reviews from me tonight.
No, you actually took a week away from the movies. That sounds so scary.
It's a rarity, but there's always a lull weekend.
Speaking of which, what are we doing for Venom?
Well, I'm going Friday.
You going Friday? Do you have room for another? Or you already is your stubs already booked up?
I already did the purchase, but we can probably be in the same theater.
That's okay. I might just hit up Edinburgh then.
Yeah, I got it early because I was trying to wait till I came over here, and then I saw the seats were filling up, so it was just like 2 for the couple. So.
Of course.
But, we do have a plethora of films coming out in the weeks ahead, so definitely, if you're interested. Got Dune.
Dune's coming.
Yeah.
But that's going to be HBO
Eternals.
Max, so
You got
That
a
is
lot.
going to be too terrible.
No Time to Die, Halloween Kills. A few of my favorite directors are releasing films next month. So yeah.
Oh, really?
Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho. It's his first like psychological thriller movie. Co-wrote and direct. And then my other favorite director, Wes Anderson, The French Dispatch. And he always makes quirky movies. He has he made the Royal Tenenbaums, The Grand Budapest Hotel, a bunch of other films that are pretty quirky out there. But hey, I like quirky. Hopefully, it's another good one from him. So. But yeah, and if you're a Ridley Scott fan, he's coming out with a movie next month called The Last Duel, which was also wrote by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. So another script by them, which the last time they wrote a script together, they won an Oscar for a Good Will Hunting. But yeah, a lot of great variety of films coming out next month. So definitely gonna have a lot of reviews coming. Yeah. But, Venom's getting a good word of mouth out there, so we'll see.
Get a weird message comes in. I'm reading it and I'm going,
yeah,
no. My answer's no.
No, people. I don't know what it is, but I'll say no too.
I'm reading this. It's like, it comes in. It's like, I went downstairs to make dinner real quick and come back and find this message. And I'm reading it. And I'm like,
dun, dun,
that
dun,
is
dun, dun.
sus. That is straight up some Among Us suspect stuff. So yeah.
Hey, yeah, you got your usual suspects out there. Which one is it going to be? Who knows? Who knows? All right.
So what you been up to, Ryan?
What have I been up
You said
to?
you've been doing a lot of school stuff.
A lot of school, a lot of random other stuff. So the weekend was busy, skipped over a movie. The weekend was kind of low on movies, so there wasn't really anything out there. If you wanted to go back to the theaters, see Shang-Chi again or Free Guy again, which were two amazing films.
Yeah, Shang-Chi. 3 weeks at number one. 4 weeks at number one.
4 weeks at number one. The only third MCU movie to do it. The other two, Guardians of the Galaxies and Black Panther. So they are in, really making their money. So great job for them. But Friday nights, instead of doing the movies, decided to just change it up. Did a farmhouse date with my girlfriend Angelica. Farmhouse is one of the local breweries that I love and adore, and it's because of their option of ciders. But we went out there just because one of our trucks that we like, called Lovable, was out there that day. Actually, when we went out there, they weren't out there yet, and it looked like they weren't going to show up. And then they showed up after a few minutes of being there, so I was really happy that they showed up. Lovable is a Poke Bowl food truck, and they do give a different variety of Poke Bowls there. So definitely, if you like Poke Bowl and you're in the area, look out for Lovable. Very good place, and Farmhouse always has great ciders, so that was fun. And then we finished up one of the series we were watching together on Netflix called Atypical. It's a Netflix original series. It's 4 seasons. It focuses on a kid who has autism, and it deals with his dysfunctional family and all the different shenanigans they go into. It's a very good, coming of age, satirical drama. So it's like a dramedy, but the writing is very on point and very blunt and very hilarious, but it's very character driven. So it's a very fun show. Check it out if you have Netflix. Saturday, join Angelica's group, OTA group from TCC, for a walk for suicide prevention at Mount Trashmore, which that was a very good walk and it's a very good cause. We did at the time, I think we raised over 76,000 for suicide prevention. So great job for everybody that was out there, and they're aiming for 100,000 by the end of the year, $100,000.
Nice. So, I'm sure they'll get it.
And then other than that, on Saturday, just chilled and whatever I got into. Sunday, one of the big things that happens in this area, and it's my favorite festival, is the Neptune Festival. Didn't happen last year because of COVID, but it came back this year and came back strong. And what the Neptune Festival is a Virginia Beach's prime and biggest festival throughout the year, and it focuses on arts and crafts and all these different vendors from around the world that come there and put their arts on display. So you have jewelry, paintings, sculptures, creative twists on items. Not to mention you have all these food vendors out there. You have music playing, but the biggest thing from the Neptune Festival is the sandcastles. And they have people from around the world that build these sandcastles, and every year they're always breathtaking. You never know what kind of designs they're going to make, but it's just kind of fascinating how they can take just sand and make the things that they can make out of these.
No, especially when they add water. But of course, they get so in depth in it. They got like tents that cover the whole area and armed guards. And I mean,
oh yeah, and the good thing is that they do. They used to not have the tents around them, but they put the tents up there so they can maintain the sand castles for a week long, so that if people didn't get a chance to see them during the week or during the weekend festivals, they can go during the week. So if you're in town, sandcastles will be up until October 3rd. So 10 to 6 available time, $5. Kids under 3 are free.
No, that's good.
And then just grad school work, lots of papers, lots of reading, and then living the trainer life. That's what I do at work. I train. So that is my weekend. That's why no movies this weekend.
I mean, yeah, sounds like you got a lot going on.
What about you? What's the busyness of the busy bee over there?
Well, I did some work. I did a community session on Friday night, which was planned, and then saw a message that that the person who was going to run the community session for Saturday had something come up. They live in the in California in the fire zone.
Okay.
So they had like a potential evacuation order. So they're all in that mode, and it's like I'm like, not a problem. I'll
understand.
So it was the best part about it was able to get on a Zoom with some of my friends from that crew, and just to have a chance to see each other after not seeing each other for months. And then being able to just talk shop, so to speak, talk creativity on these session plans and the story and whatnot, and then went in and ran the session. Did a little bit of work on the project house. I was like, talked to my dad, and it's like he sent me a list of stuff. I went out there, and it's like, well, I could get most of it in one shot. I had to go back the following morning for like 2 hours to finish it up. But that was a large chunk of it, and then it was getting ready to film the tutorial video I'm about to film for work.
Okay.
And then I was trying, and probably my shop thing for this one was I was trying to repair or replace a piece of my office chair. Unfortunately, that did not go according to plan.
Yes, it kind of is gone.
Yeah, it's gone. So you get an office chair, you know, they have the cylinder that lets you raise and lower the thing. Well, obviously, you know, they're only so much for a certain weight. Yes, I'm a big guy. Get those jokes out of the way now. But but there is a market now for replacement parts on these office chairs. So I thought I would buy a new cylinder and, you know, replace it. The instructions for replacing the cylinder seem pretty straightforward.
Yep.
However,
there's always a but.
One should keep in mind where they buy their chair from.
Okay. Where did this chair come from?
I bought my chair from IKEA.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love IKEA. I'm not going to lie, but you know, things are things when you buy things from there. So
in my attempts to extract the cylinder so I could replace it.
Okay.
I pretty much got to the point I broke the chair and I could not salvage it because I could not find replacement parts for some of the pieces because, hey, it's IKEA and not everything's a standard size.
Yeah, when it comes to IKEA, when you're building things are just made for that item.
You know, I was like, one of the things, like, you can, like, the part on the chair that you put the back in that allows you to, like, set the tilt on the back of the chair and whatnot.
Yeah.
I found a really nice replacement on Amazon, but it's for something that's 6 inches by 10 inches.
Okay.
I went out and I measured the chair because, you know, you measure your stuff before you just randomly buy things. And
try to.
go figure, IKEA makes it like 8 inches by like 5 and change. So it's like, really? But no,
Yeah.
I ended up, and the other part is like, this is a $250 office chair from IKEA.
Okay.
I bought it a year ago and it's done. Now, I'm a big guy, so obviously your mileage will vary when you buy equipment like that, but it also tells you, you buy for what you need.
Yes.
You get what you pay for, right?
That's what you do.
And so I ended up tossing the chair out because I didn't want to buy replacement parts that would equal or end up costing more than the chair. I mean, where's the sense in that?
And especially when it comes to IKEA, you can just buy the replacement.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good policy to go with you when you have a car. It's like, oh, I have this car. I've had it for years. Tell you what, how much is that car worth? Oh, it's about $5,000. All right. How much is it going to cost to fix this latest round of repairs? $6,000.
Hey, do you have a sale over there on that car right there? I do like that truck. You want to haggle with me? I'll haggle with you.
I mean, that's kind of what it's kind of feeling like. It's like, I like the idea of fixing my own stuff. I like that whole movement of fix your stuff that's broke, and the fact that you can find all these parts to make all these kinds of replacements and modifications and do all these cool things.
Yeah.
It's that, now I'm out an office chair again. So I have to figure what I'm going to do with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's plenty of stores you can buy office chairs from, so got a lot of choices.
I mean, I could go back and spend another $250 on the IKEA chair and just drop the new cylinder in at the start.
There you go. Maybe.
I could do that.
That's possible.
Or, I could,
Thrift store
look at investing in a chair that's appropriate for my particular body mass.
Office Max, Office Depot, look online.
Oh, there's a couple of really good ones. There's one that's on my wish list. It's a really nice chair, but it's $1,500. But it's really nice.
That's an expensive chair.
Yeah, but that's like a full...
You're paying for quality, so yes,
I mean,
money talks.
I mean, I'm at the point now, it's like when I go buy shoes, I'm dropping $125 on a pair of shoes because I need a shoe that supports my feet and supports my body. So, I can't be running down to Walmart for the
That 2 for $20.
Walmart is cheap joke.
Well, I wouldn't really know because I don't shop at Walmart, so I have to hear from through the grapevine of these insert Walmart jokes. So, but like you, when I get shoes, especially running shoes, I don't cheap out on them. I'm not going there for the $40 sale.
No,
I'm spending like $780 plus
on them.
The
nice thing is the shoe I wear is the same shoe I've worn for years. I could just go down to the shoe store because I go to a particular store in a particular part of the 7 cities. I walk in like, all right, I need to get a new pair of these shoes. This is the model I'm wearing. And they're like, yeah, here. So I buy a couple of pairs of those a year and I'm good.
Yeah.
But I mean, IKEA has its moments. IKEA does have its things, which is funny because a couple weekends ago, when my wife and I were out, shopping around on doing some errands and stuff, and we actually stopped by the dump.
I've never been in that. Wait, hold on, revise that. I've been in there one time. One time, people. For
those of you that I'm sure everybody's got a store like this. This is one of those clearance places for furniture. Like when the furniture, the big retailers have closeouts and whatever, they got to move it. This is that company that buys it up and then or picks it all up so they can sell.
Yeah, and they sell it for cheap.
Yeah. Well,
relatively good stuff sometimes.
We were thinking about getting a new couch because we got rid of couches and want to look at getting a replacement. And this is another one of those things where it's like you go from, all right, let me think about what it is that I can get, and then let me think about what it is that will meet the functions that I need.
Yep,
and apparently there's a manufacturer of furniture that is like, the frames are all, like right now with furniture, a lot of it's really cheap wood frames, like particle board crap frames. They look nice, but they're not very sturdy. Well, apparently there's a manufacturer that is all steel construction.
That's cool.
And oh my god, it is comfortable to sit in. But
We got our new furniture from Rooms to Go. So, hey, but we did go around, shop around, till we found what fits. And just like you got to find what fits.
yeah, well, the thing is, I've never bought furniture yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost 20 years being married, all that other stuff, you know, all that. I've not personally bought brand new furniture ever. I've always taken hand-me-downs.
Yeah, I remember you took our green couch, wasn't it? Did you?
I might have.
I can
know
remember.
I've gotten so. I mean, I remember I bought a couch that was secondhand when I first moved into this house, and now our buddy Saladin has it in his house.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, shopping for new furniture can actually be fun because you get to compare and contrast and see all the different designs and all the different things, and you get to try it out. And the cool thing I like about it is like whenever I'm a very visual person, so when I see the furniture, I see it how it fits in there, so I can visualize.
Yeah,
and see it.
Well,
so.
when we were down there, we went to they have their clearance. It's like the whole store is clearance, but then there's another section that's clearance. That's their scratch and dent kind of stuff. Or canceled orders. Now I walked in there with, okay, I can say comfortably, I can pay this much, walk out the door.
Okay.
Found a really nice special order that they canceled couch, but it was like, I could, but I think I'll wait.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's, your number, your budget, no much how much you can or will finance for. So,
She was like, first time I bought a thrift couch, it came with extra bed bugs. Yes.
Yes, I guess that is something to look out for. Those bed bugs from the thrifty store, you can wash only so much.
You know what? I don't think I've bought a couch from a thrift store. Actually, I don't think I've bought furniture from a thrift store. I've gotten it from, I know the one couch I bought, it was a Facebook marketplace kind of deal. And then some of the other stuff, it was, family, friends, and whatnot. I have friends or family, and it's like, all right, this is what we're going to do to trade this in out. And then, of course, there's the brown chair that I've got and the matching couch that I got from work when they were looking to get rid of it. And they raffled off who would get it. And I wound up with those. And those lasted a pretty decent amount of time.
It's a win-win when you can win in the raffle. I won a TV in a raffle. It only lasted 3 months, though. So...
Oh well.
Hey, free is free.
This is true. Free is but sometimes free with good. I mean,
I like huge response. I roll nat 20 on being frugal. I do too on certain things.
I'm getting much better about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have to get much better at it, but I try. It's hard. Just avoid certain stores and I do okay. So.
Yeah. I took Mayflower to Tower of Games. That's another thing I did over the weekend. I did that on Friday because I wanted to pick up some additional DM supplies. They make index cards that have monster stats and stuff for quick reference. Because instead of trying to flip through things, so I wanted to pick up a few. And I wanted to pick up my pre-orders for Beyond the Witchlight and a new DM screen that WotC released that should be helpful for new dungeon masters. It's got little cards and things like that. In fact, I haven't even opened it yet, but I'm probably do a little quick video on that at some point.
Oh yeah.
But it was that, hey, I'm heading over there. Do you want to ride? And she's like, sure. She went out. Everything looked good, and then it was like she only bought a set of dice. Because she was a little too shocked by how much stuff was in the local game shop. Now I feel good as introducing a new person to the local game shop and seeing all the awesome that is in our local game shops.
That is good. Introducing people to games, it's always a delight.
Oh yeah, so much fun. So much fun.
Fun in the sun.
But yeah, you know what? Let's talk about. You know what? I want to talk about something. Let's talk about Star Wars.
Star Wars, my friend. Star Wars.
So last week, was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
I think it dropped last week, or September 22nd. So
last week they
Yeah.
dropped Star Wars Visions, which if you hadn't heard about this is a anthology thing that is a bunch of anime shorts based in the Star Wars universe.
yes, 9 episodes.
I mean, we've seen this with Animatrix, we've seen this with Halo Legends. Of course, you know, probably the king of the hill, I think, is Love, Death, Robot.
You know, I still haven't watched that yet.
Dude,
I know you're not the only one that's like badgering me in the head and watched it, but
I'm not gonna badger you. That is some really freaky kind of cool.
and I like freaky and weird, so I'm gonna definitely check it out. Maybe it'll be the next stuff I watch. I need something to watch.
Yeah, it'll only take you a couple hours.
Oh yeah, give me a weekend.
But yeah, so Star Wars Visions came out, and that was just you watched it, right?
Yep, I watched all 9 episodes.
So what'd you think about them?
I am a big anime fan, first and foremost, so when I heard that they were doing Star Wars, an anthology series, and doing it in anime, I was intrigued. Saw the trailer, I was stoked. Watching the anthology, just like any anthology, it's a hit and miss for me. There's a lot of episodes I did like, there's some that were okay. So it was up and down, but what kept me into the anthology and into all the episodes is how different each anime style was done in all the episodes.
Oh, that is true. I mean, there is some definite wild variety. You check it out on Disney Plus, but we watched it, and you know what? I gotta say, I kind of felt like, you know, it was like when that first trailer for Force Awakens drops, and you know you hadn't seen Star Wars stuff in like a couple of decades.
Yeah, you get like, yee!
And then you watch it, and you're like, cool. And then you watch the other two, and you're like, what went wrong? Visions, I had like 2 or 3 of them that I'm really kind of was enjoying watching. The rest of it really didn't grab me.
All right, so what would you name your top 3 episodes from the 9?
I would have to say top 3.
Not in any order, just top 3.
Not in any order. Tatooine Rhapsody.
Yes, I did enjoy that one.
That one I think is probably the highlight. I think the Elder.
The Elder was a
interesting.
good one. Yep.
And I have to say probably the Ronin from an art style.
The very first one?
From an art style, that pencil line kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, called The Duel.
Yeah, the Duel.
Yep.
So Tatooine Rhapsody, the Duel, and then the Elder would probably be my top 3, with the Ninth Jedi and the rest of them coming in there.
Honorable mentions 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, I enjoyed those. Like Tatooine Rhapsody, there was a charming effect to it because I like a Tatooine Rhapsody is the animation style is in a very slice of life style anime, so you get to just watch life exist. And you know, certain situations happen Star Wars-esque, but there is that just feeling of just feel good with it. But my top 3 in no order, actually, like you said, the first one, the Duel, there's just something about that animation aesthetic with that pencil drawing there. You could see that it was meshing in with some 3D, but they did a good job of aligning it. Mm-hmm. And if you do that where you can't really tell both, but it creates its own like aesthetic. And just watching the way they style the action and the fights that was really cool. And one of the lightsabers was pretty awesome on what they did. Not going to spoil what it is, but keyword spinning. One of my other favorite ones was the Village Bride, and what I liked about that is that there's something about just allowing the visuals in the world and just simple silence guide you through it, and it was a very slow burn, but every little intricacies in the beginning when the master and the apprentice is like, you know, learning about this world, what it leads up to, makes you build up towards a fulfillment of what happens in the end. Like there was a mission accomplished kind of thing, but one where the master felt like they accomplished something with the student.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the Village Bride. That's episode 4.
Yeah, that was fun. Some of the stories, but they all, I gotta say that they kind of felt like they used the same formula.
Yeah, they did have a lot of the same formula, but the three that I liked, the Duel, the Village Bride, and the Ninth Jedi, um, actually stepped above it. Like, even if that foundation of that certain aesthetic that you feel in every Star Wars thing, there was a few that stepped above,
Now, they
especially
did-
the
they did-
Ninth Jedi. So,
And I think one of the interesting things is like I like how all the episodes had the trademark Star Wars line.
yes.
I like how they did. It's definitely some interesting stories, but I think the reason why I like Tatooine Rhapsody the most is it's the least like the rest of them
Okay.
in terms of the story. Like,
Yeah.
if you think about it, every one of them has a duel of some type in it.
Yes.
Like every one of them, that was their whole formula. It is like, we're going to introduce this side, and they're going to come together, and they're going to have a fight, and then that's going to be the end of the episode. That seems to be all it is as far as the formula. And it's always, it seems like it's always Force users.
Yeah.
And
that's the one thing I picked up on.
I think one of the things I was hoping for in this was broader Star Wars stuff, some broader Star Wars stories.
Yeah.
That's why I like things. I guess that's why I like things. When I think of my favorite elements of Star Wars in recent years is, stuff like the Bad Batch or the Clone Wars, stuff like Rebels, or not Rebels, kind of, but in this instance, it's the more of these kind of, let's look at other things going on in the Star Wars universe and kind of pick up on those stories instead of with Visions. Every one of them was basically a duel between the light and the dark, and that's the end of it. I mean, I get if that's Star Wars, that's what everybody thinks of Star Wars, is the big epic Jedi battles. Those are cool, but maybe I was hoping for a little more peripheral type of activities going on. Like, well, let's see a stormtrooper story, or let's see let's see something like that.
Yeah, I totally see what you're saying, because that was one of the things that I was hoping to get, because the one thing I like is, like, if you're talking about a galaxy, talk about all the different stories in the galaxy. And even though the two that I like the episodes I like do play on that same kind of role, what I appreciate is that they were, even if they were playing on the Jedi lore, the stories were unique in its own right.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong; they're all very unique, and once you get past the uniqueness, and then you're looking at the fact it's got the same basic beats and formula, then it gets a little rough if you're trying to watch all 9 at the same time.
Yeah.
So I broke it up over several days.
But yeah, that's what I think that's why the whole point of calling it Visions is each of these studios gave a different vision of what they saw Star Wars as is, and like you said, a lot of people.
I do like how they played in different time periods. Like Tatooine Rhapsody is like shortly after the Clone Wars, before the rise of the rebellion. The Twins was set 40 years after the fall of the Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're all set at different times, and that that helps, I think, create its own singular story for it, because it doesn't need these different pieces to make it work. Everything is worked within that encapsulated story. Yeah. So, but yep, it is on Disney Plus. They dropped all 9 episodes at once, which is a rarity for Disney.
Yeah, they pretty much like to drip feed you. Yeah. The stuff.
Yeah. But they're all up on there. It's an anthology series, so there might be a few you like me, Village Bride, Night Jedi. You like the Rhapsody. But hey, you might like any of the other ones, like 20B1 or The Elder or Lopo and Ocho. Who knows? Let us know.
Yep. All right. So what's something you want to talk about?
Let's see. What do I want to talk about? Well, gaming wise, I'm still racing around around the world of Forza 4, trying to get ready for that Forza 5. But I'm really getting excited for Far Cry 6, because I didn't realize it'll be released next week. So I'm getting excited for that because it'll give me a good game. I like good story-driven games and just a long playing game. So it'll give me a good couple months of playing that. But
yeah, I heard some interesting things. Like I was listening to the Xbox podcast with Major Nelson.
Okay.
And he actually interviewed Juan Carlos Esposito.
Yeah.
And I mean, aside from the fanning moment, over all the different roles that this guy's played, he plays some really great characters.
Oh yeah, he's always just top notch in any role that he does.
But hearing him kind of hearing the talk and that, like, this is going to be very interesting on the level of choices you get to make and how he approached it as like, okay, as a father, and because I guess you're playing as his child, Danny, and then you get to choose how you're going to continue the legacy.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm trying to, other than just seeing gameplay stuff, I want to be like completely unknown to the story elements, so I'd be surprised when I go in.
It should be pretty fun. I mean, we're going to see a different region in this.
Yeah, it's going to be very, Cuban-esque and urbanized, so yeah.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun.
But there was a Nintendo Direct that dropped.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of interesting things come out of that.
Oh yeah, they did. There was a lot of things they announced, and just some notable things that caught my eye. They are doing another new Kirby game. They have a lot of them, but this one's called Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. And what's unique about this is it's not a 2D platformer, but a 3D platformer in the vein of Super Mario Odyssey. So that's going to be a unique spin where it's more of a 3D world, open world with the Kirby. But one of the things that caught my eye, which I'm excited for, is they are releasing. You know how Nintendo has online, so they had the Super NES and Nintendo Online.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to release N64 and then Genesis.
Yes, N64 and Genesis.
I'm kind of excited for the N64 because I'm going to be honest. In my whole time playing Nintendo 64, I never played the Mario game.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario 64.
I rolled right into GoldenEye and Ocarina of Time. Yeah. That was it.
Mario, it is definitely. They're gonna have all the classics on there for both. You're gonna have your 64s.
An extensive library coming out for that right off the bat, and then adding more. Like, I never played Majora's Mask, so I'll be looking forward to playing that. And I have Ocarina on my 3DS, but to roll over and play it on my
play it on the Switch might be even more fun.
You know what's really funny? I have a 3DS. I've played it. And one of the features I almost never use is the damn 3D.
Really? I've used the 3D once on my 3DS.
I've used it a couple times, but then it's that headache inducing because if you're not holding it at the right angle as you're playing on the right level, it just totally jacks you up.
Oh yeah.
Great idea. It's one of those things I'm so glad you could turn it off.
Oh yeah, so they are, along with this, the services, it isn't going to be provided with just the regular Nintendo Online. They're going to bump up with a price tag for a premium service, so nobody really knows how much that's going to be.
Is that going to be, do you think they're going to grandfather anybody who's currently, or just mark it as your renewal, or, hey, you've got to buy the difference?
They never mentioned it. They just know it's going to be part of the premium service.
What's your thoughts? What's your estimation? What's your opinions based on Nintendo's track record?
They are not really good at doing online services. Until the Switch recently, they have done a little bit better. I forget the price tag of what the online services right now is. It's not that much, and
it's
you pay
like
yearly.
$3 for the year.
Yeah, so I'm guessing
it's $20 for the year.
Yeah, I think that it might be bumped up to $30 for a year, 35. That would be my guess, because
do you think they'll force you to buy up, or do you think they'll just, if you're already a subscriber, they'll just grandfather you in, and on your renewal, you have to pay the upgraded price?
I don't think they do that. They would do that. Nintendo's notoriously just like not really good with online services. They'll just stick a price tag at the end of, because it's going to be released at the end of October, so they'll just stick a price tag. Here's the price if you want these two things. They're also releasing controllers, like OG controllers for the 64 and Genesis that you can play with the games. Going to be cost $49.99.
If you're a big collector of that stuff, I can see that happening.
Yeah, but yeah, that was one of the big things. There was a few other things that caught my eye. one thing that caught my eye is they finally released gameplay for Bayonetta 3.
Oh, yeah, we've been waiting on that for how long?
4 years, I think they released a title of it and then never said anything about it. But, you know, I'm looking forward to it. Makes me want to go back because I played the first game. The first game was amazing. Never got a chance to play the second one. I know it's on Switch. Might get it so I can get ready for 3.
Well, let's talk about the other big piece of news.
What caught your eye?
Oh, it's not so much that caught my eye, but it's definitely the conversation piece in a couple of places.
All right, which one is it?
We're going to have another attempt, people, at a Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh yes.
Now, over the years, this movie is definitely looked at as probably one of the worst video game adaptations.
Yes.
To be fair, I actually kind of liked it. Even and then learning more about what was all going on behind the scenes, it ruins the movie for me a little bit. But we're going to see another version, and so far from what they announced, it seems like it's Chris Pratt has been tapped to play Mario in this new version of the film, and I'm like,
oh yeah. But yeah, they do have. Well, you never know because Mario doesn't really talk. He has one-liners, but he doesn't really talk. So we'll see what Chris Pratt does. He has voiced because he voices in the Lego Movie.
Oh yeah,
and a couple other places. So we know he can do good voice acting. Do
we know if this is a live action or a CGI?
This is CGI. It's going to get released for the holidays 2022. So around next Christmas.
So that means they've already done a lot of the voice recording, and now they're working on the animation side.
So yeah, it's going to be done by Illumination Studios, who do the Minions and the Secret Life of Pets movies.
Hey, they've done pretty good.
Yeah, they make the money. So some of the other notable voice casts, you have Anna Taylor-Joy as Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, and Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. So.
Oh boy, I got to admit, I'm kind of excited for Jack Black.
Oh yeah, I just like Jack Black is I love watching Jack Black because he makes me laugh regardless of what movie it is.
Everything he does, I love how he's doing a lot of cool, a lot of kid stuff lately. But it's Jack Black is great.
Jack Black just knows how to do the thing. So just seeing him as Bowser, it's going to be fun. I think we're.
Q has a comment in here. He said Chris Pratt and Chris Pine are both doing nostalgia films. What's Chris Pine doing? I haven't seen him in a minute.
Let me see. Keep on. I'm gonna find it.
Keep it on,
and I'll look it up.
Well, I got something we can kind of tease.
What are we teasing?
I think I'm gonna tease a little something off to the side there. And that is, got that new D&D game we're going to start playing in a couple of weeks. I worked on the artwork last night. I had a vibe for like an old retro style.
Ooh, retro.
Kind of vibe. So we got our cover art, our logo, our artwork for the Feywild Venture. Oh, Chris Pine's doing the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yep, he's doing Dungeons and Dragons. I just looked it up.
How ironic. We're talking Dungeons and Dragons and we're talking about Chris Pine.
Post-production comes out in 2023.
Oh.
So.
I'm hoping that's pretty good.
But you know what's going to be good? Feywild Adventures.
Feywild Adventures.
Feywild Adventures. I can't read. It's late.
That's fine. Doing some prep on that. I was working on the starting town last night in World Anvil. Trying to get that kind of put together because I've had several of my players roll a dice to determine whether or not they're from the town or not as part of that starting story element. So I've got those results, and then I was working on the town a little bit to kind of help flesh it out for these characters, because there's a nice little element where, as a secondary story for the characters, there would be searching for something they have lost. So part of in the adventure for some of these is they're going to be searching for this lost item.
That should be fun.
But still have to determine what they lost and the term and whatnot, but it's all part of that setup for the adventure. So I'm really kind of excited for this. I feel like I have a lot more creative time to work on it. I feel a lot more inspired to work on it, which is really good. But yeah, it's doing a lot of starting to get back into the writing bit to try and ride out and put together this town. The town I can't say the town's name is Skogar.
Skogar.
Which is it's another one of those Icelandic translations for forest, because that's where the town was founded, was inside of an old growth forest. So yeah, I know, like it fits, because a lot of times towns and cities were named after either where they were or the person who founded it.
Yeah, that's how it goes. So,
but yeah, I can't wait to see how that plays out. I think we're just about done wrapping up on the cast. I put a message out on Patreon for Patreon members if they wanted to, and I think I have a couple more things to look at. But right now we're up to 6, so I think that's a fairly good, assuming that all the confirmations are there. And then should be having our session 0 on the 9th.
Should be good.
Which, unlike previously, this one we're going to stream to Patreon. And then we will release it as VOD after we go through it on Patreon. I think that's going to free up some stress from a production standpoint. And I think it'll be, taking your suggestion and all that, I think that's going to be probably the preferred way, just to kind of go through that, because then we can focus on playing the game.
Yeah.
And then letting people enjoy it after the fact.
Yeah. It's a good bonus.
Yeah, so that'll be kind of how that is. So just look forward to seeing those start coming.
All right. Yeah, Scott put in a couple comments in the chat.
Yeah.
Awesome sauce.
So yeah, there's some interesting elements, which I don't want to spoil too much, but should be a lot of fun.
Mystery. But watch if you want to see, people.
Oh yeah, totally. Character builds and working through those. But yeah.
Yep. Got some odds and ends. We can rapid fire to the end.
I want to talk about this writing assignment you did over the weekend, talking about Taco Bell's chicken taco sandwich.
Chicken taco sandwich.
So if you're not familiar with some of the ad campaigns, Taco Bell has yet again released one of their stuff, and this one, of course, is causing debate. Is it a taco or is it a sandwich?
Yes.
Now, you were telling me before we got on that you had a writing assignment over the weekend, and it was just a kind of a downright where just write to write, get your kind of a free flow, get your ideas out.
An early draft of basically.
So what is this process called? Because I'm curious, because I might try this with some of my story stuff just to get.
All right, so I had to do. I can't say the word of what the professor called on the air, but a crappy draft. I'm going to use that word. A crappy draft writing, and what it is basically you just write with the flow and just let the topics go out there. And I was trying to think of a crappy first draft to write with a rhetorical analysis. So instead of just focus on a political speech or what a comment somebody made or an apology somebody made, I was like, let me find a spin. And then I come across this article on Otaku, not an article, but a review of this guy who says, I hate myself, but I love Taco Bell's new chicken sandwich taco. So what this article goes, or this review goes into, basically what my analysis is, how does this guy get you to want to eat this chicken taco? So what I did was read and grab, and what the idea of doing a crappy first draft is, you just write you ignore the errors, you ignore the grammar stuff, you just write to get the ideas flowing. And what I gathered from doing that was I was able to see what this guy was talking about with this chicken taco, this fried chicken taco. So basically, with Taco Bell, they have a new chicken taco sandwich. Is a sandwich is taco, you figure out, I don't care. But the whole idea of his focusing is the fact of we have this war of chicken sandwiches, and it just stays there. And the fact that every fast food place has done something to either compete, compare, or revise. So the guy breaks it down through a historical, I call it a historical perspective, where he goes and analyzes the war prior. It started with Popeye's chicken sandwich and its fight with Chick-fil-A, and the fact that Burger King and McDonald's went back and revamped their menu for just the chicken sandwich. And then it leads into, so with all of this, what should be the one that you go after. And he goes and talks about you should do the Taco Bell one. And he breaks it down in a way where he makes the simplicity sound mesmerizing. So just looking at compare it, because it's a fried piece of chicken in a pita bread, but the way he utilizes words and diction makes you want to like become part of it. Like when he goes, it says stuff like decent sauce is not a hugely unique concept, but still a tasty creation. Or he says the chicken is very crunchy and contains just enough spice so as not to be bland, but not too much so your boring uncle or whatever can still enjoy it. So he's
I kind of like that. Like that, but it's curious how you use that of all the things. Use that for the basis for this assignment, because I think that's really kind of creative.
What the reason I thought, because I wanted to capture something that it was more relevant in a societal way, more adventurous, and more unique. Because the whole thing is
a little closer to most people than if you were to take, hey, let me analyze the latest thing coming out of Washington, which those guys are so far removed.
Regardless of whether you're on the spectrum, it's kind of crazy what happened there. So I was like, let's focus on something people can debate and have fun with. And that is it a chicken sandwich? Is it a chicken taco? Is it better than all these other stuff? And the whole part of the assignment is how it's not, the rhetorical analysis is not about what I think, but how does the person in the review utilize techniques to make you want to try this or think that this might be better than the rest? So that's why I wanted to tackle this, because it crosses many different paths. It's socially relevant. It's intriguing concept, and it just makes you hungry. Because when you see a fried chicken, anything, at least for me, I want to eat it. Heck, I'm thinking about getting chicken wings, and it might be closed by the time I leave. So we need to do a wing night.
We do. We need to go do a wings.
Go to Dirty Buffalo. We should go to Dirty Buffalo. Have you been there?
They just opened one.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
You want to go? Let's go for wings.
One day.
Yeah, check and see what time they close. Maybe we can run. Maybe we just run there after we do the Patreon bit.
Oh. Well,
I'd eat it. Yeah.
Well, because I have to do something for work. But okay, I'm looking up the time though.
Looking up the time. Another great debate, and this is from this one is really great. Kind of thing I was watching, because I got sucked into Instagram Reels, and I was showing my wife a couple of the people I follow on my personal Instagram, and one of them was really great because, hey, here's the debate for today: our waffles are just pancakes with pockets.
You hurt my soul by saying that, because I love me some waffles. And making it sound that they're just pancakes with, what did you say?
Pockets.
It's just...
Think about it.
It just makes it sound worse. It makes it sound worse.
What? It is. I mean, you look at the shape. It's like it's got little pockets that holds the syrup from getting all over the place. And besides, you use the same batter for both, right?
That is true.
What are your thoughts? Comment down below. Are pancakes and waffles different, or are waffles just pancakes with pockets?
I love them and I eat them. That's all that matters to me. That's all that cares. As long as it's edible, it's going to be eaten by me.
Yeah. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and roll over for our Patreon chat. It's a live stream we do for our patrons over on Patreon. If you're a patron, check out over there for the link to that. It'll also be posted in our Patreon area on our Discord. If you stuck around to the end, thank you. You're awesome and amazing human beings. Please remember to do the thing up at the top where you click on the little thumbs up. Then if you're new, click on the little subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when we release more videos. As always, thank you to the moderators in the chat.
Thank you.
Get our friends and followers in the chat, and thank you to Ry for spending another Tuesday night hanging out where we just talk about a bunch of random things.
Whatever, wherever.
And of course, a thank you to Sirenscape for the background music. So we had a nice little fireside camp with a minstrel playing for some coin. So toss a coin for your Witcher, and we will see you on our next stream.
Peace.